Hi everybody, this is Blossom. So I hope you are all well, and I wanted to know if you did a little bit of research on your own about the dangers in fairy like we discussed last week, and if you found other protective plans or anything else from your own lore and legends that you might have in the area you live in. So if you want to add something, please write it in the comments or just contact me over email. So I would really love to know. So for this new chapter, we are going to talk a little bit about the underworld. And as I was writing for this chapter, I really thought it's gonna be the biggest lesson. And it's probably not the smallest one, but it's not as big as I thought. Not because there's nothing to say, but there's too much to say, and I just can't pull it off. As you know, this is a free course, and it would take an enormous amount of time to put everything together, and there are authors who wrote many books about this topic, so I leave it at basic information, give you more of an introduction to the underworld, and I think that's gonna work out, right? The main part will be your journey into the underworld. We will discuss that later in the video here. And as always, the videos are always just as an addition, and we will not talk about everything that I wrote in the lesson. So for more information, go to my homepage and read the text, because more information there. The underworld. The underworld has still to this day a little bit of a bad reputation, and it's not just religion like Christianity who says it's hell who does that, but it's also a bit in the New Age movement. We can see that the focus is always on ascending, on evolution, instead of really going deep within. And but in the Celtic tradition, the underworld is a place of healing and rest, and it doesn't matter in what mythology of Celtic, like in the Welsh mythology, it is a place of cheerfulness and ease and connection with the fairies, and also with the gods and our ancestors. Now there we have to look a bit what the underworld then is. It interlaces with the fairy realm, and it's also the place of our ancestors, and it's deep within the planet. It's all combined. Even if the fairy realm is, you may imagine it's like just slightly above, but it does cross with the underworld. I don't know if it's important for you to exactly have the definition of that. We will discuss that a bit more in the text. But like I said, to really go to the core to that, you probably have to write more and do a bit more research. And it really depends. Is that important for you, or do you just take it as it is? Because that's absolutely fine. I close the door. I just see that doesn't look good. Yeah, so for the Welsh tradition, the underworld is called Annwn, and the leader or the lord of the underworld is Gwynab Nith, also referred to as Arun. And what Arun actually means is just a deep place, but it's not only deep within the earth or deep within the planet, but also deep within the human soul and the human heart, which is, important to know. It is within us, right? And to understand the underworld, we have to remember that everything that grows comes from deep within the earth. It nourishes us, right? So remember that. And it is also said that the fairy realm, the underworld, is filled with light, but not with the light of the sun or the moon, but the light comes from within and from the sacred land, and it is the stellar universe within the planet that gives it light. And there are many, many, many stories that you can read from the Welsh underworld. And if you do a little bit of research, I will give you a few examples in the written text. And when we talk about the underworld, we also have to know that the underworld is also called the otherworld, Tir na nog, the Summerlands. Maybe even Avalon belongs to it. So don't let yourself be confused by it. So I mentioned Gwyn ap Nudd. So Gwyn ap Nudd is the lord of the underworld in Welsh tradition, and he is the king of fairies. And his name means, so Gwyn means white or fair or blessed. Ap is son of, and Nudd is mist. So he is the son of mist, the son of white mist, or the white son of mist. And remember when we talked about the liminal spaces, how mist and fog is that liminal space, and it's a form of transition. And he is and Gwyn ap Nudd is accompanied by his hounds, by his dogs, fairy hounds, the Cwn a Noon. Don't know Welsh. And he is also the one who leads the dead into the underworld. So when the soul leaves the body, he is there to assist and to help during this transition. And again, it's not in a dark light in the Celtic tradition. And then in the text we will also talk a little bit more about the wild hunt. When I just look at the time on the video, I will not mention that here. So Gwyn is also the leader of the wild hunt, and then we will discuss the wild hunt a little bit further in the text. It is often said that he is out and about with his wild hunt during Samhain and Glastonbury when he departs from there. In Welsh mythology, he is he flies over Cadair Idris in Wales. Such a wonderful place. I've been there and I'm going back. Can't wait. Maybe I saw Gwyn. Who knows? And yeah, so I will talk a little bit about how you can get closer to Gwyn, but there's also a wonderful book by Danu Forrest, who has a complete book about Gwyn ap Nudd. So you maybe want to get into that if that is something that interests you. Let's go to the exercise, what this is actually about. To reach the underworld, or to go into the underworld, it can be accessed also on our plane. There are places in mythology that we are going to talk about, and often it is a cave, a burial mound, into a hill, over crossing the sea, beyond the Nine's waves. So that is something. Those are those strong images you should keep in mind, and that's what I do with my journey. I give you that strong image to go deep within, and what I used in this journey now that I will provide is to imagining a door on the ground and then going down a spiral stair, which is an image that I came across first by R.J. Stewart, and I really like that idea. I think it's quite easy to do that everywhere, but you can imagine other things as well. So with the journey, I want to give you this journey, and I will upload it in 2 days. So first read a bit about the lesson, and then in 2 days you will have the journey to try out for yourself. It is that kind of gateway to the underworld you have to imagine for yourself. So really old images, that can also be a stone circle, maybe even riverbanks. It is that really connects us with the old lore and legends, and that is something deeper within us that we understand on a deep soul level, if you like. So when you use the exercise and you want to do it on your own later, always go in and go out the same way. The example for the door is that you will see, or you will imagine, a door appearing on the ground, and then you do the exercise, and when you come out it should disappear again. So close the doors again to the underworld. Something else that is important, like with the other exercise, is that I will give you a call back signal, a bell that rings 3 times, so then you know, okay, it is time now to go back. And I would really suggest that you use this guided journey a few times until you get comfortable, and then you can do it on your own. Always remember to ground yourself before and after. I think that is important. If you would, I said it already, and I also say it in the text, but grounding is such an essential part of the whole everything in life. And then again, we will have, in the journey, I will make you aware of the 7 directions this time. So in the other journey I went in a bit more in detail. This time I leave you more alone. This journey is really I just give you a little nudge into the right direction, and I leave you alone for a long time so you can explore the underworld on your own. Then of course be respectful, you know that by now, and then use your common sense. If something doesn't feel right, you can leave, you can say no, everything's alright. And of course never forget to say thank you, and also write in your fairy journal, because it is really easy to forget. Because as soon as we are back in our normal world and we go back to our routine, we forget everything. It's all gone. As with the other journey, I also would say do it regularly. Do it more than once. Try again, maybe doing it 7 days in a row, longer if you can. I know it can be hard to do that, but this is something you also do for yourself. And if you are not able to do it every day at all, try to do it every 3rd day or once a week, but really set a time for yourself to do this journey. So you will get quicker results when you do it more often, and you can have beautiful experiences there. And I would really, something else you should be aware of when you do those underworld journeys, pay attention to your dreams afterwards. You may still get messages in your dreams. I hope this is short enough. It should just be a little, a little additional video, as I mentioned. And if you want to read, you know where to find it. And hello, darling. Yeah, so thank you so much for watching. Much love and many blessings, and bye bye.